Hello, I'm Graham and I hope everyone's having a great day and welcome to today's video. Now, a couple of weeks ago I was asked by one of my subscribers for recommendations for backing up his pictures when he goes on a holiday to China. Now, I didn't want to use the iCloud service because of the problems with the internet connectivity in China and possible security issues around that internet service out in China. So I was looking for some other ways of backing up his precious memories. Now, there are several devices on the market that allow you to insert a compact flash card into a portable hard disk in effect, and it would then copy the images and video from your card to a hard drive within the unit. Now, that would seem a sensible solution. However, from what I've read, they tend to be a little bit iffy on their working. Sometimes you'll insert the compact flash card and the initiation doesn't happen. You don't get that transfer to the hard disk. You have to insert the card several times to start that transfer. Now, additionally, there is a problem with the software as well. If you've got a camera which keeps the same image numbers if you reformat the card, and I think some Canon cameras do that, you could end up by transferring images shot, say, on day one. Then you reformat your card, take some more images, they will get the same image sequence numbers. Now, when you come to transfer those images across to the device, it looks in its directory and finds that they're already there, so it doesn't transfer your new images. So you could end up with a situation where you haven't transferred new images. So for that reason, I'm not going to even recommend that you go that way. In fact, the manufacturer is still trying to resolve that problem, I believe. So what are the options available to him? Well, he is taking a smartphone with him and it has a substantial amount of memory in it, so you could actually use your smartphone to act as a backup device. He's actually taking his FZ200, so we don't have Wi-Fi connectivity, so we're going to have to use USB transfer or take the memory card out and use a SD card reader. Now, it's an iPhone that he's taking, so one of the things you'll need is the iPhone camera connection kit. Now, Apple sell one at quite an extortionate rate for what it is, but you can get these third-party devices, and the third-party ones actually have inbuilt card readers as well. So not only are you getting the camera connection kit, so you're going from Lightning to USB, but you've also got the opportunity there to capture images from your SD card or micro SD card in this device. So let's look at both methods. My preferred method is actually to use this third-party one, because if you've got a camera that you're connecting by USB like this Canon 740HS, it doesn't like being connected to the USB port because it tends to try and charge the internal battery, and that says you're drawing too much current. So with this device, I can power this device from a power bank with a lightning connector on here, and it means I can charge the camera and power up this unit at the same time, so I don't get that issue when I'm trying to capture images off the 740, for example. So let's set up and I'll show you how to transfer the images, and then I'll suggest another method you might want to consider if you've got a lot of images and a lot of video that you want to store onto a portable hard drive. So here we have the complete kit needed to transfer the images from the SD card, which is in this FZ200, to the Apple iPhone. So the main piece of equipment here is the Apple Lightning to USB adapter, and for the FZ200 or any other camera, providing you have the USB connection lead with a USB connector, you can actually transfer the images from the device to the iPhone. So I'll connect up the cable into the USB socket. This goes into the Lightning port on the iPhone and then into the USB port on the FZ200. So now when I turn on the camera, the interface between the two devices should set up a communications protocol. So I'll turn on the camera. The camera knows there's a device connected to it, and it's asking, do you want to connect in the PC mode or the PIC bridge? Now, PIC bridge is if you're going to connect to a printer, but we want to connect to a PC type device, so I'll just press menu set, which selects that option, and now you can see it's connecting to PC, and the Apple iPhone will respond by selecting the Photos app and selecting the import option from you. So you can now see we've got images here that we can import, and there's actually a video as well. So we'll select all of these images to be transferred. Then it's just a case of clicking import, and the camera will then pass those images from the SD card in the camera over the USB link into the iPhone. And that's it, the process is now complete. Let's look at doing that again, this time using the third-party connector rather than the Apple iPhone adapter. So here is the third-party Lightning adapter. Now it does support USB plus an SD card reader and a micro SD card slot, but it also has the opportunity here to plug in a charging lead that we would normally use with your phone, so you can actually charge your phone and power any peripherals that are attached to this device. So if you've got a camera which takes quite a high current, then you could use this to power both the camera and the iPhone, and you don't get the warning that the USB can't supply enough power. So as before, this just plugs directly into the Lightning port, and the USB will connect to the USB socket. Again, once the camera establishes connection, you'll see the usual request to select PC or pick bridge. We're going to select PC again, and that will bring up the Photos app on the iPhone, and again take us to that import mode. So what I'm going to do is just select a couple of those and the video just to transfer them. Again, click import, import the ones that are selected, and again the camera will transfer those files over to your Apple iPhone. And that's the import completed. So if you were to go into your albums, you could actually see on your camera roll the ones that you've imported and the video as well. So that is a simple process of how to transfer the files from the FZ200 via the USB cable. Of course, you could take out the SD card and plug it into the reader, and you get a slightly faster transfer as you're not using the USB link, you're using a direct connection to the iPhone. But as extra backup, you can get these devices which are basically a Lightning to USB adapter, but inside here is a slot where you can put a micro SD card. So I've got a 64 gig micro SD card in there. So when I plug this device into the iPhone, so if I open the app that's associated with this storage device, which is called TechQ, so these are the options you get with the TechQ U drive. So you can actually use it for a external drive for the phone, so you could actually record from the camera to the device, both video and stills, or as we're going to do here, we're going to back up the photo. So if I select photo backup, you've got camera roll backup or camera roll restore. So if you put your images on here and you wanted to get them back, you can actually transfer them, or you can actually transfer images to this device on your computer and then transfer them to the iPhone by using the restore. So we're going to use the camera roll backup. So that will back up all the photos that are in the camera roll and transfer them over to the U drive. So this is a useful device if you wanted to transfer the images and video from your iPhone onto the micro SD card that's in here and use that as your archived image. So that has transferred all those files across, so the application is now finished. Let's now look at another way of backing up your photographs from the FZ200 to a device which is the File Hub. So this is the RAV Power File Hub Plus. It's a Wi-Fi enabled device. You can actually use this as a router, or you connect it to a local LAN, or you can wirelessly connect it to your iPhone to transfer images from the SD card reader that's in here, and you can transfer the images to your smartphone, or you can transfer the images to a device which is plugged into the USB port. So in the USB port you could actually put a portable hard drive, or in this case I'm going to use another SD card in a card reader to act as my external memory, but that could be your external hard disk. This will provide enough power to run these portable hard disks. So we would then place the SD card from your camera into the SD card reader in the device, When we turn on the RAV power, hold the button down for 3 seconds, checks the battery, and then initiates the wireless feature of the device. So we will go over to the iPhone and then select the settings to enable us to capture the Wi-Fi SSID from that device. It takes about a minute for it to power up and initialize, and we should see the File Hub Plus appear in the networks available for connection. And there it's now just initialized, so I can select that. We've now got connection. I've already set this up. It's got a password installed in there, so it's already known that association. So then I can go directly into the File Hub application. And you can see that we've got the SD card and we've got USB connected. So those are the two symbols which tells us we've got an SD card and we've got an external USB device connected. So if I go into File folder, you can see we've got the SD card and we've got the second USB drive here. So if I went into the SD card, the usual architecture, and those are the files that are on the SD card. So here you can see I've been shooting in RAW, so it doesn't recognize these as a file type, but it will still transfer them when we want to transfer them over to the iPhone. So if we go back to the main menu, so I'm going to transfer the DCIM folder over to the external device. So if I go to the SD card volume, select that folder. So I've selected the folder that I want to transfer, and then you've got the option now to copy to, and we want to go to external storage. So on the top line here we have internal storage. I can now select external storage, and we want to go to USB volume 1, which is the card reader on the external, and then we just do paste, and that will transfer those files from the SD card in the reader across to the external device. So that's transferring all those raw files plus the MP4 video that I shot on that card. So you can now see that we've gone into transfer complete. So it's transferred all the files from my SD card from the camera to this SD card on the external USB port. You can also probably see that we've got the iPhone folders available. So by selecting iPhone rather than the File Hub Plus, which would select the SD card reader, I can go to the iPhone folders. You can see that this device can access all the folders on the iPhone that have been created by your other third-party apps such as Filmic Pro or Instagram, any of the other apps on the iPhone that record to their own directories that are not available to you in the Photos app. So for example, Filmic Pro, you can see the videos that I've shot. So I'm going to actually transfer this video, which is shot on Aaron. So I'll transfer that particular video over to the external drive, which is USB volume 1, and we'll just paste it into the main directory. So that's going to copy that video over, which is a MOV file shot on the FZ2500. So this is quite a useful device, as it's got its own inbuilt lithium-ion battery, so you can actually use this while you're on the go. You can back it up in the field. You can actually use it as a router if you go to a hotel and you wanted to share one of the Ethernets that might be available in the hotel. It's got an Ethernet port, so you can actually connect to their Ethernet, or you can use this as a local access point and use it to share your films or whatever that you've got on your SD card. So that would be how you would transfer the folders over from the RAV File Hub Plus. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you've got some ideas now how you can transfer the files that are on your SD card, either from the camera using the USB connection cable or by using an external reader plugged into the necessary adapter for your smartphone, be it Android or your iPhone. On the Android systems, you've got the OTG cables, which allow you to plug in USB devices. So again, you've got the facilities to copy across. Well, if you are a new viewer to the channel and you like what you see, please do click the subscribe button and the bell notification icon, and then you'll be alerted when I do upload any new videos to the channel. Also check out my photographic blog, and I'll put a link to that in the video description below. There's lots more information on photography in general, specifically about bridge cameras and micro four thirds, but I do actually cover some of the Canon systems cameras as well in there. The newsletter comes out every 3 weeks. There's an application form on the homepage to join that, and it's more than a newsletter, it's almost a technical publication in its own right. Stuff that I don't publish on the blog but I think might be of general interest, so do check that out. So as usual, thanks very much for watching, and until the next one, please do take care, and I hope to see you all in the next one.